YouTube family, let's talk about it. Usher wife, ex-wife that is, you know what I'm saying, has reunited with the media and said a few things about this man again. Now, Tameka Foster, who still goes by Tameka Raymond that is, you know what I'm saying, like she's letting it be known how she feel, the whole situation out here, what's been booming going on, bruh. Like, she's booming on another century of the educational purpose dirt that she claims she want to put on Usher Raymond. Now, we don't know these situations, we don't know the things that happen, we only can think. So I'ma let her speak as we pay these bills right quick.
Today's glitch of the hieroglyphics was seen in genetic coding. Had to understand this wasn't made with no Coley. This was a king copper, no copper with no gold. Black strong, moving understand till we king Kong get along. No, we can't sing no song, this ain't no follow for the sorrows of the days. Different days, I had to understand this is a pain. Different chapters of my life get rearranged. You had to understand, you had to eclipse.
Ladies and gentlemen, this story gets far deeper than what you see. Now, she goes on the Ghetto Boys podcast with Willie D, and she spoke her piece, and she went on several interviews over the years to speak on the issues that's been going on in her life. Now, I'm going to play a snippet of Willie D's one using the copyright fair use. Salute to Willie D and what he got going on. Y'all go subscribe to the Ghetto Boys Reloaded podcast. They doing some big things over there.
In my spirit. Our fate has already been decided.
That's right.
What we're going to be, what we're going to do is already in God's hands. Your words.
That's exactly right.
I heard that. I was like, this woman's something else, man. I like her. I like your spirit. You got a good spirit.
Thank you.
You know, that's good. That's
a book kind of somewhat as a diary, just kind of journaling with how I was feeling about different stuff. And the space I was in when I started writing it, I was mad at the world. I was blaming everybody in the book. My words were just mad, and it was shit and damn, and I was cursing, and I was a mess. And I put it down. And also, being from Oakland, I definitely had it in me to do so. No, I did not.
Shout out to
Tail. So I wrote things down, and I was like, nope, we're not going to do that. So I stopped writing. And then when my son passed 2 years later, after my divorce and everything, I started writing again, just my feelings about what happened to him and just mad at God. So the book originally was called Mad at God. That's mad. God is still good all the time. So no.
Yeah.
So I do have a chapter called Mad at God. And I think a lot of people will relate to it because we've all been mad at him.
Yeah.
About different things that happen in our lives. And we ask God, like, why? A lot of ebbs and flows different.
Yeah.
Dude, life is a beautiful thing, though.
Yeah.
All in all, I lost my.
Wife Tameka appeared before a judge for an emergency custody hearing. Tameka filed for the hearing after their 5-year-old son nearly drowned in the singer's pool. The judge, however, ruled Usher will continue to have custody of his children. Here's OMG insider Tia Andrews.
This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
Tameka Foster sobbed as she listened to the 911 call of her son's near drowning.
How old is he? He's 5 years old. Okay. Sit down for a minute, please. Sit down.
Usher, by contrast, was composed and precise as he was cross-examined about Monday's accident and his parenting skills.
Mr. Raymond, can you tell me what your schedule is like for the remainder of August?
For the remainder of August, I'm to be here.
And look at this. Both Usher and Tameka wore ID bracelets from the hospital where their son was admitted on Monday. Usher's attorney, who asked for the emergency order to be dismissed, said the superstar is an excellent father and has canceled 87 concerts and appearances to care for the children.
I'm Jeff Cherico from CBS Atlanta for OMG Insider. Outside the Fulton County Courthouse, Tameka's attorney told me the case is all about the time Usher spends on the road, away from his family, and not about the money.
Honestly, this has nothing to do with any kind of...
Now, there's a lot of back and forth in situations showing the exclamation mark on this. Now, you know, the queen gave her side of these ordeals and what's been going on. And she said Usher took advantage of her friend, basically on speaking about Usher's situation.
Bridesmaids were brought up, and I think there's been some reports that there was actually 2 bridesmaids that he possibly cheated on you with. Is there any truth to that?
Well, he admitted to sleeping with one of the 2. You know, it was a very disappointing revelation. You know, I had suspected it for some time. And you have to understand, this is like family to us. This is someone that was there when, you know, my children were born. She took me to the hospital when I was in labor with one of them. But I hate to say, but I somewhat empathize with her, because I feel that she was vulnerable and she fell into somewhat of a trap.
A trap how?
I think that she got very close to him as a result of being my friend, and I think I feel as though he used it to his advantage. I mean,
because
clearly
he can be charming and just lure the women in, or
I think we all, you know, would we all would admit that he's very charming.
Now, her admission to how charming Usher could be is a revelation you can see many times when, you know, the tears of the 911 call that was there during the court proceeding, and when she broke down as well.
Come here, Nabi. Ready? Nabi, come here. All right. Are they with him right now? They hadn't got here yet. They on their way. You taking them from the house? Yes. Nabi. They just pulled up? Yes. All right. I'm going to stay on the line with you until they get right with him. Are they still doing CPR? They out there with him right now. He's only... Open up the door, Nabi. Open the door.
About a kid that deals with the classic middle child syndrome, and he's got bully big brother and irritating younger siblings. So yeah, the cartoon is called The Odd Life of Kyle Lyle. So he's gonna be on TV. Yeah.
So, and that's what we're talking about. Like, he was in this accident, jet ski accident. When you got the phone call, or how did you learn the news?
I was actually, I just checked into a hotel. I was on a little vacation, and I'm always on vacation because I love to go places, like when the kids are with their dad or whatever. So I had checked in, and I was like, really? Just getting a call from him saying that it was my first husband, it just already was a little odd. So I knew that it was more serious, and I just kind of started to panic.
Kyle was on life support for 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. Did doctor?
Okay, so
Yeah.
you were like, I'm already here, let me go.
I was like, I'm here, and I was there on vacation. I wasn't doing anything. And I sent my kids to California, or to Las Vegas with their dad, with another nanny. I was like, I'm about to get this done. And they were like, oh, 2-3 days recovery. You'll be a little sore, like you worked out. Please, I was a little dead.
Subscribe to us.
Yeah.
Something went wrong.
When they anesthetized me to do the anesthesia, I went into cardiac arrest. My heart just flipped out. Yeah, I must have been allergic. It's always, you know, he was always an advocate. I loved you how you are.
Yeah.
I married you, you know.
What was his reaction when he found out what happened?
Well, you gotta remember, I was out. I was in a coma. So.
Oh, you went into a coma?
Oh yeah, so I don't know what his reaction was.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
and
know.
how long were you in a coma?
I think they said like 2 or 3 days. I was under. I want to say they said it was.
You could have died.
Oh. I was definitely flatlined, and so.
Oh, you flatlined?
I flatlined. They had to boom, bring me back.
So you technically died and came
Checked out. See, but I don't want to speak on it because I don't know what they.
The purpose, obviously, because she was so loud. The time that we agreed to, I drove our son, to her home, and Grace was with me. To hopefully prevent any negative interaction between the two of them, I walked Usher up the hill, the driveway, a celebration, I guess, Usher. You should obviously go back in the house and attend to the other children. She says the children are fine. And I proceeded to walk back here with the children as no one is in the house and the children are unattended. She says the children are fine. Why did you park down the hill?
Alone. No, we can't sing no song. This ain't no follow for the sorrows of the days. Different days, I had to understand this is a pain. Different chapters of my life get rearranged. You had to understand you have the eclipses of the different days. Time glitch in the time path and the time warp. Could you understand this? It never went slow and